You see, it's super hard to avoid leaks in this community, right? If you haven't been living under a rock, you should know by now we're gonna be getting Sollos as the festival for the like the next festival, whatever the hell it's called. We're getting her, right? We're getting Sollos. Everyone already has their opinions on it. Everyone's already pretty much putting this festival as a nothing burger, as well as the new LR being Roxy. We're going to be getting her as well. And people are already putting her out as she's probably going to be a fodder LR like someone like Rimuru was. And here's the thing. I don't believe that's going to happen because Netmarble as an IP, they freaking love Roxy. And then Sollos, it's going to be a little rough. Right? But it all comes back to one thing in particular, and that's Sabunak. It comes back to Sabunak. See, people... Okay, I guess this is going to be like a little rant video kind of thing, because a lot of hate has been going on with the current state of the game, and I get it. There's not a lot to do in the game, but there never has been. I don't know why people are just now figuring that out. It's not like we got new content recently and then people realized like that new content was ass. No, it's been the same game for like a solid year straight. The newest content we've gotten in the game was what, Hall of Warriors and Endura, two very niche, limited brain cell game modes, and then only whales can do Hall of Warriors. And Endura, I mean, you're fighting for scraps for a 10-minute fight. That's kind of, it depends on who you are, if it's worth it or not, but realistically, yes, but no, right? Sollos is coming. She's probably going to be crazy, my personal opinion. I don't think she's going to be that good, strictly because Sabunak wasn't that crazy on release. She looked good as an OC. She has cool cosmetics and stuff like that, but she was never a true meta-defining character because she was so debuff-centered, and then they just dropped cleanse characters that can cleanse with passives, and then made any debuff character irrelevant. But right now in the meta, right, there are no debuff characters or debuff cleansers in the meta. And in terms of the meta teams, we have Escanor Merlin with the Fire Force characters. None of them can cleanse. We have the Sin team. None of them can cleanse. And those are really the only two teams in meta. But if you want to dive even deeper, the Giant team with Scold, they can't cleanse. The Ragnarok variant can with Hell, but Hell is the only substance of cleansing on Unknowns and Ragnarok comps. Humans are not cleansing, they're just damage reduction to all Hell with God, Bon, Darkness, Sung Jinwoo, Nazians, Pelgard, Escanor Merlin, you know, the list goes on and on. Those are a bunch of damage reduction characters. And demons are just hyper offensive. They don't cleanse. They have a lot of shields, but they don't cleanse. And so right now in the meta would be a perfect time for Sabunak to actually get a purpose. And not just any purpose though. I'm talking about a holy relic. If they were to give Sabunak a holy relic so that she works side by side with Sollos, it would be a crazy festival. Because that would be the nastiest comeback of Sabunak of all time. And the reason I believe that this will happen is because it's an OC, right? And why is Aura invited me to a deathmatch? Homie stole my whole flow. But anyways, the way that these OCs work, they all work in tandem. They all work together. Catastrophes work with catastrophes. Ragnaroks work with Ragnaroks. But the nightmare characters, being Sabunak, Sollos, and then the red one, which is my favorite one. So when the red one comes out, I'm wailing on her hard. But those three characters, they're their own characteristic. They're part of the catastrophe storyline, but they're not catastrophes. They're like nightmare sisters or some shit like that. And so when that comes to mind for me, I'm thinking that we're gonna get a holy relic for Sabunak. Because not only would that make sense to give her a relic so that she can work in tandem with Sollos, but Sabunak, let's be real, she's the worst UR in the game. Before Arthur got his relic, he was the worst. But now that Arthur got a relic, she is definitively the worst UR in the game. And she also had the shortest lifespan of any UR. Maybe Gother. Maybe Gother had a shorter lifespan than her. But at least Gother was actually good. He does his job and he still does his job well. It's just the fact that he's squishy, but that's always been Gother's thing. He is a broken unit with a rank up card, but he is squishy. That is just how Gothers work in this game. So realistically, I'd still consider Gowther relatively good. I'd still put him over characters like Arthur, Sabunak, and like maybe Green Escanor, possibly, since he's not in meta anymore, but you can still technically run UR Gowther. So I would put him over like those type of characters, but Sabunak is definitively the worst one. And so if like, this is like me speculating, obviously, because this is all based on leaks, and I don't look at leaks. I just can't avoid the grapevine that is the internet. So when I log on to any fucking social media that has Grand Cross related to it, someone's talking about the leaks. So yes, I don't support leaks, I don't fuck with leakers, but I can't avoid them, right? And I mean, I guess you technically can, because I can just unfollow all the Grand Cross creators and all that shit, but I'm not doing that. I actually enjoy looking at Grand Cross content, so I'm not gonna do that. And I can't help that people like leaks and I don't. That's just something I can't control. So I'm not gonna really worry about it as much as I used to anymore. I'm just gonna say, fuck it, you leak, you don't, I don't care. I just don't bring it to me, right? If I see it, I see it. If I don't, I don't. Point is, just to make this long-winded statement very short, because this isn't a crazy like conundrum with this character. Like, she's really cool. Sabunak is a cool character and her kit is still technically usable. It's just that it's a debuff center kit, and these kits don't last long. But now, with the meta the way it is, the debuff meta will come back. Like, bro, she's cool. Like, she's genuinely cool. But the debuff meta will 100% come back. Because we got Shinra, for example. He's a debuff center character in a sense. Like, he's not a debuff heavy character, but he does do more damage off of debuffs that he provides to his enemies. And no one can stop Shinra right now. He's the strongest character in the game, or one of the strongest characters, top 3, top 4. So with Sollos, whatever she's gonna do, it probably won't matter, because when you put Sollos and Sabunak on the same team, it's probably gonna be broken. So I'm imagining she's gonna be like a debuff center character, potentially. We don't know. We don't know what she does. She's like a sleepy, dreamy character. She can hold people in place and shit like that. So she might have some sort of, what do you call, like, chain, like, some sort of word for enchaining somebody. Like, she'll probably have some sort of ability based on chaining people, and then they won't be able to do any skills for like a turn or some shit like that. And then she'll probably have a heal. I don't know. I'm just speculating. This is all speculation. Basically, though, to put a long-winded story short, I have faith, even though I don't like the catastrophes that much, because whenever they drop, they're always fucking trash. I have a lot of faith in this festival. And just to break down all my points again for commenters and, you know, people that got this far into the video, I think Sollos is going to be a great character. I think she's going to bring back Sabunak, because Sabunak just wasn't that long-lived. I do think this update is going to drop Sabunak's relic with it. Hopefully it's a relic with her. And I will put her back in the pseudo meta so that she works with Sollos. Because if they don't give her a relic with this update, that would be fucking criminal. Considering those two characters are literally sisters, they should be on the same team. But Nemrobot doesn't care about synergy that much. They just care about race synergy. So she's probably gonna work with unknowns, and then they're just gonna have Sollos, Hell, and freaking Millum or some bullshit. But hopefully, Sabunak gets a relic. So yes, she gets a relic. Roxy LR is actually gonna be good, because if Roxy LR is good, that means the one mono that literally nobody's summoned for will have actual use case, which my game is having an aneurysm right now. But I don't have that mono, by the way. This red one that came out a few weeks ago, Blade Unleashed mono, if that LR Roxy is good, and you pair it with this mono with attack and crit damage, it's GG's. So not only are they bringing Sollos with this unknown nightmare comp, if they give her a characteristic, I doubt they will, because there's only 3 of them, so it's probably not worth the trouble. We'll see. But Sollos and Sabunak making a good team. Roxy being a dope LR, which makes this mono broken as shit, because 40% attack and crit damage would be nasty. On top of LR Lilia, yeah, you're dead if you run into a catastrophe team for the first time in forever, which is, this is hella copium, because they've never been top of any meta. They've always been like contending, but they've never been top 3. But this might be the first time catastrophes can be top 3 in a meta, like genuinely top 3 with like no counters. So that's if LR Roxy is actually broken. So if y'all summon on this and LR Roxy's broken, hey, I hope y'all get a good LR Roxy, okay? And that's really it. That's truly it. I think a lot of people are just downplaying what's gonna be coming. And again, like, people got leaks and shit like that, so they might know what's even in the updates. They might even know that there is or isn't a Sabunak relic, and I'm just speculating because I enjoy speculating. I'm not gonna go look for fucking leaks, but I can't help what I've seen, and the only thing I've seen right now is Sollos is coming and LR Roxy. So everything else I've said is purely speculation, including the leaks, because that's not even confirmed. There's times when Netmarble leakers are wrong, so it could be completely false, who knows. But no, this is just a fun little video that I wanted to do because everyone's been posting about it. My Discord can't stop talking about it and how they don't like it and how they think this is gonna kill the game. It's really not. If y'all pay attention to gacha revenues and shit like that, every time they drop a OC, they do really well in money, actually. For instance, when they dropped Scold, they made like $1 million extra from the festival before her, which was, I don't remember, fucking, it was a 4 Nights character? I don't remember. Point is, when Scold dropped, they made a lot of money. Believe it or not, I know, crazy, and OC made the money. They really did. And even when other OCs drop, they never go in the negatives. They literally stay at the same pace and the same money they've been staying at every other month. And I can't back that up because the gacha revenue website is down right now, which is bullshit, so I can't get the screenshots from the last few months of the game. But genuinely speaking, the people that say that the game is gonna kill itself because OC Festival, we've heard this every single time, bro. We've heard this with Sabunak Festival. We've heard this with I'm pretty sure Roxy was a festival, actually. I could be wrong though, I don't know. We've heard this with Scold. We've heard this with Hell, Dark Hell. Like, bro, these OCs make the money. Of course they're gonna be festivals. Now granted, is it appropriate to make the 777 festival a catastrophe festival? No. Realistically, it should have been a sin festival since it's 777. But again, they're called the 7 catastrophes, bro. Of course that was always going to be an option as well that no one really considered. And as soon as they saw it, it went right over their heads like, oh, 777 because the 7 from catastrophes. And then not to mention the dev notes already said that they're going to focus on 4 Nights, 7 catastrophe, and Ragnarok this year. So I don't know what the fuck we're surprised about. Niggas really thought we were finna get some crazy, like, original IP character this soon when they just told us we're finna be focusing on OC stories. Yeah, GG's. I guess you didn't read the dev notes like a month ago. Point is, this is gonna kill the game. The game's been the same it's been for months. Are you gonna get stagnant? Sure. Are you gonna like stop logging in every single day to do the same content? Of course. It's called burnout. People can burn out when the game gets stale. And I'm not gonna take that away from anybody. But to say that the game is dead is a little bit of a stretch. There's plenty to do in the game. Just because you don't want to do it doesn't mean that the game is dead. But I rest my case. Point is, I'm like on a 60-40 hype for Sollos. Not because her or like she's a waifu or whatever. I'm more or less hyped because that just means we're getting closer and closer to the actual waifu of those 3, which is the red one. She is a baddie. I don't care about the blue one. She is kind of cool, the heterochromia thing she got going on. But other than that, I don't really care. I didn't care for Sabunak. I don't care for Sollos. The LR Roxy does look like she's going to be peak, but we don't know what she does. Her design looks sick. Her art looks fire. She has like little cat ears or some shit now. I don't have any of the leak art though, so you can't, I'm not going to show you on screen. It is what it is. I genuinely don't have it. But I have faith that this collab isn't going to be terrible. But last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna wrap the video up. I do believe that it's gonna be just the same old collab. I don't think they're gonna add new content. I think it's gonna be like, oh, 7 catastrophes, event bosses, and you get to fight Camilla, Mono, and Roxy again for the 15th millionth time. They're not gonna add any new content to this. They'll never do that because they just hate us as a community. So yeah, GG's trying to look for new content. It's not gonna happen. Maybe some quality of life. Maybe. I don't know. Because the only thing they can do now is add content to the game because there's genuinely nothing else to do. Quality of life can only carry us so far, and right now we don't need that. We need content. People are obviously starving for it. Point is, I'm hyped, and I'm gonna leave that there. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your opinions about this collab and the leaks that you've seen, because at this point I don't even care. You can tell me if there's more leaks than just the 2 characters. If there's anything else, let me know in the comments, and by all means, have a civil conversation in the comments with me, I'll be down there. I will have these conversations with you. But if you're just gonna be a dick about it, guess whose comments getting deleted? Because genuinely, I'm just having a civil conversation, and I'm not interested in these weirdos like hate spamming weird shit for no reason. Like, bro, either be civil or get the fuck out. It's not that complicated. I'm done talking. This video can go on forever. I can keep fucking talking, but I should probably stop talking because I don't want this video to go on forever. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This collab's gonna be collab. GG's, bro. Yeah, wrap it up. I'm done.